to Box Free with Stephanie. Today I'm going to show you how to make some basic foods with simple ingredients from scratch. And I hope you discover cooking box free is fast and delicious. So let's cook together. Today we're going to make spaghetti pie, which is a really simple little pasta spaghetti dish kind of, except it's totally different than like spaghetti and meatballs or spaghetti that you put in the pan, because you make a pie out of it. So what I'm going to start doing right away to get my things going here, heating up, is dice up some green peppers. I already have my hamburger cooked. I had a little kind of leftovers, which is convenient. But if I wouldn't have had that, I would have just chopped up my peppers and my onion and my meat all together. But now I just have to cook my peppers and onions. So I'm just making a regular 9-inch pie pan today. So I don't need a whole lot of anything because that can't fit very much. So I'm going to make like half a cup of green peppers. And you can dice these as finely as you want. I'm going to go a little bit small just because my spaghetti pie isn't going to have a ton of texture stuff, so I don't want these giant pieces of pepper. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so then I need to add just a little bit of butter into my pan. Okay, so I'm gonna get those in there right away, and then I'm gonna chop my onion. And I'm just gonna chop the whole onion, which might be kind of a lot. Boy, maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. I always like to use the whole onion when I cut one up, but I guess we'll see how much it ends up being once I actually chop it up here. I mean, I don't mind some onion, but I don't really want it to be too crazy. What is making all that noise? Okay, so I'm gonna get this cooking. Okay, and then I'm going to chop up my onion, which I just always cut mine in half, and then I do little strips. Well, I mean, I guess when I want little bitty diced onions. So then you get these like little rows, and then you just chop those up, and then you get these itty bitty, then I tip it over, itty bitty cubes of onion, which are very nice and very small. Way faster than the green pepper. So I'm going to throw that in and see what that looks like. Oh, see, that's like perfect. So we're just going to leave it at that. I don't want it to be too uneven as far as like too many onions and not enough peppers or whatever. So I like the look of this combination, so I'm calling it good. Except why is this seeming like it's not? I guess it is cooking. Okay. All right. So we're just going to let that sit there. And in the meantime, okay, in the meantime, what am I doing? I have to make my spaghetti hot. So I boiled this like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago or something, and it's already kind of cooled down. And so I wanted to get hot again. So I boiled some water in my tea kettle. Could make some tea if I wanted, but I'm cooking show, so I can't make tea. Oh my God, that was really, I have a really bad accent when I try to do them, and then I don't even not do them. People are always like, no, that doesn't sound like an English accent, or it doesn't sound like any kind of accent, Irish, whatever I'm trying to do, but I don't stop doing it. So that was really embarrassing to do it on my show, but oh well. Okay, so what I'm doing is just trying to heat up my pasta. I don't really want it to like cook anymore, but I just want it to get hot because I'm going to add it to an egg, which I'll throw in right now, and then some Parmesan, and I want my pasta to be kind of hot so that it like kind of melts on and grabs all my stuff that I'm adding it to. All right, so now I have to just drain this for a second. And this is a heat-proof glass. That's why I could pour boiling water in it. You would not want to do that if you did not have a heat-proof glass. All right, so I'm supposed to do 1/3 cup of Parmesan. So this is a giant chunk in here. All right, so I'm gonna do 1/3 cup. A little bit extra for good measure. Okay, and this is cooking well. So now I'm going to just beat these together really quick to get them all nicely combined. So I basically have eggy cheese, which I guess that's not so bad to eat. Okay, now I'm going to dump this in like that. Okay, not too much water, so that was good. These are cooking nicely. Okay, now, this is really hard. I'm not going to do with that. I guess I'll do with this. Okay, so now I just want to combine my eggy cheese to all of my pasta, because this is going to make like my pie crust. And so I want my pasta to be coated, because then it ends up, the egg and the cheese make it like stick together, so you can actually like slice it. It's kind of cool. But that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to take just my 9-inch regular size pie pan. And is that it? Just the, yeah, okay, so that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to just pour this into here and make a little crust for our spaghetti pie. Throw this over here. Okay, so nothing too fancy. You just don't want to have like a hole in the middle of it, because then you're going to put a bunch of stuff, not a bunch, but good stuff on top of this, and you want it to have an actual little crust to sit on. So you just spread it out like that. And then it kind of looks like a pie crust, doesn't it? It's kind of cool. So I'm good with that. Okay, now my onions are going nicely here. I have not salted them yet, but maybe that's okay. All right, I'm supposed to have, it says for half a pound of burger, but don't really know if this was a pound or not. So, actually I'm not going to do that yet. Hang on. I'm going to do my cottage cheese mixture first. Wait, does this, what was that in there? I don't even think I have to dirty another bowl. Look at me, I'm going to like save a dish, because this is just egg, it doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to add another, is this right? Boy. Yeah, okay, just sometimes, well, you know how I make mistakes cooking all the time, so I want to make sure I did it right. All right, so this is 1 cup of cottage cheese, which I normally don't do these little prep bowls and like have it all like separated out and served and oh so fancy. I just take it out of the container. But I'd had these little cottage cheese things for lunches kind of set aside, so I just grabbed a 1 cup because they happen to be in my fridge. And then I'm going to add 1 egg, again, just to kind of, this is like your binding. It's kind of fun how you can do stuff with eggs and it really does like stick your stuff together, you know. Keeps it like, not really firm, but just together. It's like a binder, like a hair binder. Oh, just kidding, that was a really stupid joke. Okay, so you just combine this, and then I'm going to spread my cottage cheese egg mixture, right? Spread it on the crust. This just comes out of my Better Homes and Garden cookbook, which I have had forever, and I just love that thing. I don't know, it's like good old basic foods and pretty much some fancy stuff and some easy stuff, and so I like it. But I actually used to make a recipe kind of similar to this that I got from my brother, like when I was in college and didn't have a lot of money or anything, but it was basically, I didn't have the layers, but you would just combine cheese and noodles and eggs, and then you'd bake it on the stove. You put it on the stovetop, and then you'd put cheese on it and put it under the broiler, and I made that a lot. Ouch, don't touch the pan. So yeah, I made that a decent amount. And I don't know, I think, well, my brother used to watch the Frugal Gourmet, who was like, I think the Frugal Gourmet, some Italian chef. This was like way before Food Network, so I don't know if it was on cable TV or whatever, but I think watching all of that is what made him become such an awesome chef. I mean, he just cooks at home, but we'll call him a chef. Okay, so I did my filling, you could say. Now I'm going to do my onion, pepper, meat, and then you add, oh boy, add some spaghetti sauce. But let's see, I don't want to add too much. 3/4 cup. We're not going to really measure because, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it kind of matters. Oh my gosh, I always say it doesn't matter. It does matter. But you don't have to be so precise. I'm looking for, in this, I'm looking for a mixture that is saucy without being too dry and without being like too saucy. So that's why I say it doesn't matter, because in my opinion, it's this, that the look and the feel of what you're going for. So that's why I would say you can manipulate recipes, I guess. Because I feel like you can. If you don't want it to be super saucy, just don't add so much sauce. And if you don't want to do your can, just do homemade, or you can do like diced tomatoes with like the basil and onion and stuff already in them. You can do that also. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that sit there for a second. I think I've turned this off, and I'm gonna prep my cheese because I want to do some mozzarella on top of it. And then what you're gonna do is bake all this, and then it all like just sticks together because you got so much egg in there. And then you slice it into a little pie, and you have spaghetti pie. But it doesn't make very much, so like if you were feeding 4 or 5 people, that'd be fine. But if you're feeding like, I don't know, 7 or having people over, then you might want to make spaghetti cake, or what would you call it? Spaghetti, like in a 9x13 cake pan. You could call it a spaghetti loaf. Is that appetizing? I don't know, maybe not. You don't need a whole lot of mozzarella. I'm going to say half a cup worth in there. All right, now this is bubbling nicely. So now we are just going to take this and dump it right over our pie. It's like really a fast thing, and it's just a little bit a different way to eat spaghetti. Like if you really love spaghetti but you kind of get sick of the old standard, now you can serve spaghetti pie and be like, ooh, look what I made. I made spaghetti pie. And then I just kind of spread it out so it's all like even, but you still get that crust. And then I sprinkle over my little mozzarella. I haven't tasted anything and I haven't salted anything, so I'm hoping this is all going to work out. I mean, I think the parmesan's good and the meat and all that should be good. I don't think I normally do salt it. I mean, it just comes together really fast, especially if you already have the meat cooked up. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to put it in the oven. It's at 350 already. I preheated. I'm going to bake it for like 20 minutes. And that should be enough just to set all my egg stuff, and then we'll pull it out and you'll see that it's like a piece of pie, but it's a spaghetti. Okay, we're back in 20 minutes. Okay, we are back. The spaghetti pie has been in the oven 20 minutes and it looks really good. So we are going to pull it out. Whew. So it's all like melty on the top, of course. And then you can see like the crust is actually in certain spots like kind of golden and crispy and stuff, and that's just fine. So this is how you would serve it. You would just pull it out, throw it on the table, and cut it up. So let's cut a piece off. See if it maintains its shape. It's looking a little bit watery to me. So I don't know if I did something, maybe my cottage cheese was a little too soft. We'll see. Oh, and I hope this will work. That I don't have a little pie pan. There we go. All right. So just like lasagna, if I were to let this sit like out of the oven 5 minutes, it might kind of like firm up a little bit better. But as it is, it just kind of, you know, flops a little bit. It didn't stay like a solid piece of pie. But that's just, I guess, because there's all this cottage cheese and whatever. So we are going to try a bite and see how it is. It's going to be really hot. It's good. It's like almost like lasagna, but with the spaghetti noodles. It gives it a totally different feel. So it tastes like you're eating spaghetti, but it's lasagna. But it's not lasagna. Anyway, I like the simplicity of this meal. You could jazz it up with, you know, spices or garlic or whatever you want in your meat stuff if you wanted, but I don't mind just the very mellow. It's like comfort food almost. So there is your spaghetti pie. So thank you very much for watching Boxer with Stephanie. I hope you liked the show. I hope you make spaghetti pie or a spaghetti cake or whatever you want to call it in a big pan. You do the same thing, just a big pan. I hope you like it. I hope your family likes it. And I appreciate your time in watching the show. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, thanks. Bye.